Do you struggle with strength while sprinting? Well, it's pretty hard to know what type of lifting will actually make you faster. When I was trying to sprint faster, I thought all you had to do was lift heavy squats and deadlifts and sprint often, and that's all you needed to increase your speed. After working with Les Spellman and studying for years, I was able to transfer my speed from slowing the 40-yard dash at 5.0 seconds to 4.4 seconds electronic timing with only using about 3 lifting exercises I cycled throughout the entire year. These exercises also transformed hundreds of athletes that I've trained with the Speed Academy program that you see on the screen right now. And in this video, I'll give you the only 3 lifting exercises you need to sprint faster. Just like your sprint session, the weight room can be simplified into movements, not exercises. So for the weight room, we want a compound squat movement, a compound hinge movement, and a compound calf raise movement. This is going to cover 90% of what all athletes need for speed and athletic development because it's based on movements, not specific gimmicks. The other aspects that would need specific isolation work would be knee flexion, lateral movements like lateral lunges, hip internal and external rotation movements, and maybe even some tibia-based work like tibia internal or external rotation. But this is based on your needs and if you know you specifically need some extra work in that field. Now for compound squats, people will say there is a best variation, but that's only based on your specific needs. In most cases, we have hundreds of options for a squat that is viable and effective for developing your overall athleticism. But I will give you my 4 favorite that fall under the squat category. I suggest picking one of these 4 exercises and sticking with it for 3 to 4 months. You can either do number 1, the barbell split squat, number 2, the rear foot elevated split squat, number 3, the half squat, or number 4, the heel elevated D squat with a barbell, hack squat, or Smith machine. Most of these squat variations can have different goals based on what you're trying to target. But if you stay to the end of this video, I'll show you how to change these lifts to target your specific needs like power, for example. Now going into the second lift, the compound hinge, and these are gonna be my favorite options for hinges. Number 1 is gonna be a barbell RDL. Number 2 is gonna be a split stance RDL with a barbell or dumbbells. Number 3 is gonna be a hang high pull. Number 4 is gonna be a hip thrust. And number 5 is going to be Olympic lift variations, since most Olympic lifts are going to be initiated with a hinge. Lastly, we're going to go into our calf raise variation. For this movement category, you have number 1, the regular calf raise, number 2, the single leg calf raise, and number 3, the seated calf raise. Now, if you only pick one of these lifts from each movement category, you're going to miss what makes this programming so powerful. You can do some simple things that changes each lift to make it develop your speed even further. In each lift, you can manipulate load, which is the weight in the bar, velocity, which is how you move the bar, and third is position, so what angles you push from, pull from, and drop into. So some simple examples of changes you can make to any of these lifts. You can do slow eccentric tempo for more tendon health. You can do fast eccentric drops for more eccentric rate of force development, which helps develop the stress shortening cycle. You can do isometric holds for developing stiffness and health. You can do isometric pauses where you drop into a specific position and then explode out for ballistic strength. You can do high velocity light load loading for power, where you're lifting a weight fast but sub-maximal loading. You can do slower velocity heavy loading lifting for strength, so this is your regular 70 to 90% of your 1 rep max. You can do overcoming isometric pushes where you're moving into an immovable object. That's great for developing rate of force development and even strength. And like I've been saying this whole video, you can make any of these changes in the tempo, but it's still a squat, a hinge, and a calf raise. As long as you're covering these 3 movement categories, you can do whatever you want to these exercises to make it specific to your goals. To make it even more simple, just pick one category that you know you need to develop and pick movements that feel good and safe to progress on. For example, right now I'm focusing on a big eccentric phase. So I'm doing a lot of fast eccentric rear foot squats, fast eccentric kettlebell swings, and oscillatory fast eccentric single leg calf raises. Now, even though I picked these specific exercises that feel best for my goals right now, all these lifts still fit under our category, which is 1 squat, 1 hinge, and 1 calf raise. Once you develop this mindset, you realize that there is no such thing as the best if it doesn't feel good or get your specific body the results you want. That's why searching on TikTok and YouTube for the best exercises is kind of pointless. You need to be focusing on what movements you want to chase and what adaptations or results you want from those movements, and that's what's going to make your programming simpler and easier to get the better results. Click the top link in the description to join our online speed program, the Speed Academy, to transform your speed, strength, and overall athleticism. Now, the last section for this is going to be rep ranges for lifting. I'm just going to show one big sheet of all the rep ranges for every single category so you know what to do. For power-based lifting, you want to do 2 to 6 sets of 1 to 4 reps. For strength, you want to be doing 2 to 6 sets of 1 to 6 reps. For strength plus hypertrophy, you can do anywhere from 2 to 6 sets of 4 to 10 reps. For isometric holds, you can do 25 seconds to 30 seconds. For isometric pushes, you can do anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. These rep ranges all fit perfectly with your basic squat, hinge, and calf raise. For calf raises specifically, you usually want to be doing 6 to 12 reps for most of your goals, since if you want power or rate of force development in the calves, you want to get that from your plyometrics or your overcoming isometric pushes. This training system makes programming simple and covers your big rocks for improving athleticism. Pick one exercise from each category and turn it into a workout. Then stick with that workout 1 to 3 times per week for 3 to 6 months. Do not constantly switch around unless you know how to progress to harder variations. If you switch around these exercises every single workout or even every 1 to 2 weeks, you're not going to adapt to the stimulus and you'll never improve. This type of training system has helped my athletes do what you see on the screen right now. If you want an online speed program to transform your speed and strength, click the top link in the description or the pinned comment to join the Speed Academy today. Now that you know what categories to hit for every single workout, let's cover some of the better jumping exercises and how to do them so you can increase your sprint speed. Watch this video right here on the only 3 jump exercises you need to sprint faster.